PR. All right.
Morning, yogis. My name is Tara, for those of you who have not met me before. And the things that I would love for you to grab this morning, if you have them, simply a block, a firm block, or if you don't have a block, something that'll work is a big thick book, or even a staircase if you're able to get over to a stair in your house. And that's just for one small portion of the class. And so if you don't have any of those items available to you, you can move along with us without having that prop available. The other thing I'm going to give you a minute to do is get a tissue. We'll be doing some breath work to stoke the fire and get the lungs clear and the airway moving freely. So go ahead and grab a box of tissues or have something nearby that you can clear your nose out with. To get started this morning, come into a comfortable seat. So for me, that means I'm going to sit on my block. You could also use a pillow or a cushion or a blanket boosted up underneath you, kneeling like I am, or you could have your shins crisscrossed in front of you here. Anything that works to make it feel like you have a long, tall spine stacked up with your sitting bones rooted down into the ground. Once you've made yourself comfortable in your seat, let your eyes gaze softly down the bridge of your nose or close completely, and allow yourself to drop in first and foremost to any sensations that are present in your body this morning. Begin to observe the inhales and the exhales that are moving through you without any need to change anything about how you're breathing. In this practice of dropping into inquiry, what is it like in my body with this breath this morning? And as you begin to notice any of the sensations that are going on in your hip, your neck, your shoulder, etc., welcome them in with kindness and compassion. It might sound a little corny, but to acknowledge and greet. Good morning, stiff shoulder. All right, I promise to take care of you today. I'm going to move in a way that helps you feel good. Allow your breath to begin to deepen in and out through your nose if it's available. If you're congested, do the best you can. As you breathe in, let your belly get expansive like a balloon, front to back and side and top to bottom. Exhale out and allow the belly to draw back in towards center, everything out. Inhale, fill up through the belly. Let your ribs open up wide, 360 degrees, making space between each of your rib bones. And then exhale, everything draws back in and your belly empties out. Inhale, fill your belly, fill your ribs. Let your chest get buoyant. See if you can inhale right up and under to the top of the collarbones, the tip top of your lungs. And when you exhale, soften your chest. Let your ribs hug back in and let your belly empty out. Inhale, belly, ribs, and chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, and belly. Also think of your breath as inhale 1, 2, 3. Exhale 3, 2, 1. Your breath can be a little slower than I guided. It can be a little quicker than I guided. What you're looking for is a rhythmic breath that feels sustainable and doable to you throughout your practice. And keep checking in as we move and we start to layer on bigger, more dynamic actions. How am I breathing? How is this treating me? Right? First and foremost, let your breath lead your way, and it won't steer you wrong. Continuing your 3-part breath, the Dirga breath. Allow yourself to turn inward once more and observe what's going on in your heart. What's going on at home or at your job, in your community. And take this moment to send out your prayer, your wishes, your delight if there's something really amazing going on. And take a moment also to thank yourself for carving out time to get on your mat and to practice this morning. It's a gift, it's a blessing, and it's not always easy to do. So thank you for just showing up. Look down into your sitting bones. Inhale and feel your spine getting taller and longer, as though there's a cord coming right up and out of the crown of your head. And when you exhale, let your torso start to stir around your hips. You can let your eyes blink open if you've got them closed, or if you're finding your way with your eyes closed, feel free to keep them closed. Let yourself get a little bit like the spatula scraping the edges of the brownie bowl. Get into all of the nooks and crannies. Let your shoulders begin to roll around, your chin can drop, your chin can lift. Keep breathing smooth, full, rich and deep. 1, 2, 3 on your inhale, and 3, 2, 1 as you exhale. Change your direction and circle the other way a couple of times. Begin to observe how you're feeling when you link up your breath and your body in this way. The Yoga Sutras teach us that when we're choosing where to place our attention, this is being in the practice of yoga. It doesn't say once you've achieved the perfect handstand. It says when you're focusing your attention with your whole heart on anything, this is the practice. Come on back through the center, root your sitting bones down, and once more lengthen all the way up through the crown of your head. Let your arms come down by your sides. Breathe in and sweep your arms up and overhead. Let your chin lift and your gaze look up towards your hands. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, circle your arms out big and wide, palms up and fingertips reach. Bring your hands to your heart as you breathe out. Inhale, sweep your arms up and over. Changing it up this time. As you exhale, let your right hand come down and your left arm reach. Up, over, and out to the right side of your room. You can bend your right elbow a little bit. Make some space between your ear and your right shoulder. And then let your arm move in any way that starts to lubricate your shoulder joint. So we have sort of WD-40 in the human body. It's called synovial fluid. And after a long period of rest, such as sleep at night, it gets thick, it gets gummy, and it takes about 6 to 8 rotations for the synovial fluid to start to warm up. You can think of it like the difference between butter that's been in the fridge and butter that's been on the counter for a while. Another breath here to move in any way. It doesn't have to look a certain way. It doesn't have to be symmetrical. Use your inhale to reach up, sit tall, and come back through center. Exhale, set your left hand down and reach up and over with your right. Feel into your side body. Get a good long stretch there through your whole right-hand side. And when the feeling strikes you to start to move, begin to move your arm around and notice if it's different. Maybe you slept on one side and there's something going on here that's calling out. Move me like this. Oh, pause right there and breathe into that. Ooh, that feels good. Ooh, that not so much. Right? This is all the process of being in inquiry. It's a constant practice. Keep being curious and keep noticing the information that your body has to give you. Next time that you breathe in, reach up tall through center again. And let your hands come back through your heart and rest down into your lap. Now would be a good time to grab your tissue. Get a little clear out of your nose. Yes, friends, I just blew my nose on Facebook Live, just for the entertainment of all of you. So the breath is called Kapalabhati, and it means the skull polishing breath. It's really a brightening, wake you up, good morning kind of a breath. It starts to build some internal heat. So I'm going to explain it first, and the way we'll do it this morning is non-traditional. So I want to explain what the breath looks like, and then I'll show you the non-traditional movements that we're going to use to accompany it. So it's done all through the nose. It's a very passive inhale and a forceful exhale. It's like you need to blow a bug out of your nose and you can't use your hands to do it. You'll notice that there's a pumping action of your belly that happens. You're not trying to make this happen. It's just an automatic response to the breath being snuffed out of your nose. So it looks like this. The inhale just sort of happens on its own. Do make sure that there is an inhale happening. Don't try to stop it from happening. Otherwise, you will just simply exhale till there's no breath left, and you will probably keel over forward on the floor. And that's not a fun way to have practice this morning. So make sure that there's a breath coming in. So again, in and out through the nose, a forceful exhale, and a passive inhale. Right? Let's do one demo round. I'll keep track of counting. We're just going to try to 10. So take a regular breath in through your nose and a regular breath out. Regular breath in, and then you'll begin. 9, 10. Go ahead and breathe normally again. So hopefully the cycle of breath landed and it makes sense how to do that. Set it aside for a moment. The movement that's going to accompany the Kapalabhati breath this morning, bring your hands to your sides of your head by your ears as though you're getting ready to do some sit-ups. I'm going to put a number to the movement to help you keep track. So, left arm swings forward, we're going to call that 1. Right arm swings forward, 2. Left arm, 1, stay there, 1. And then to the other side. 1, 2, 1, 1. 1, 2, 1, 1. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 1, 1. Come on back to center. Is that making sense? Right. Even if you're mixing it up, the point is that you're starting to sync some movement with some breath. Don't get super hung up on if you're on the right and then, oh my gosh, I should be on the left. Breathe and move. That's the ultimate goal here, to breathe and to move. So the 1, 2, 1, 1, those will be your exhales. So it's going to be like exhale, exhale, exhale. Right? Let's give it a shot. Hands by your ears. Take a regular breath in and out. Deep breath in and then begin. Snuff, 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 snuff. There you go. 1, 2, 1, 1. Pick up the pace, go a little quicker. Quicker still. Last time. Come back to center. Take a breath in. Let your arms come down, breathe out. Notice how that feels. Enjoy any of those little shooting stars, tingling sensations, warming movement going through the body, shoulders a little alive, a little awake. If you need your tissue again, grab your tissue. Let's shift forward onto hands and knees. If you've been sitting on a block or cushion, you can go ahead and switch that out of your way. I'm also going to let you know, in order to keep facing you, I'm going to be turning from side to side periodically. You can feel free to move around in your own space as you see fit. You can turn and have your back towards me if you're able to still listen into the cues, but just know that's why I'm coming in and out and moving side to side. Hands underneath your shoulders and knees underneath your hips. Send your right leg out long behind you, the ball of your foot on the floor, and rock it back and forth a couple of times. Making some space on the back side of your leg, particularly if you were sitting with your knees bent just now. And then begin to roll your ankle around. So I'm coming right onto the top of my foot, and then back onto the ball of the foot. Over to the big toe side at the top, the pinky, and then the ball of the foot. It's almost like the sensation that would happen if you rolled your ankle off of a sidewalk curb. Which isn't a pleasant sensation, but here, getting the ankle strong and stable so that if you're in that situation, it's a familiar movement to your body, and hopefully you'll be able to catch yourself a little bit quicker. Roll it the other way a couple of times. And bring your knee on back down to the ground, and send your left leg out behind you. Same thing, rock it back and forth a few times. And then begin to roll it around. So the big toe side of the foot, the top of the foot, the ankle, and then the ball mound. And change your direction and go the other way. And if you're hearing pops, clicks, and cracks, my friend Morgan, I heard this cue the other day and I thought it was the funniest thing. She said, it's like someone just poured a bowl of milk into the Rice Krispie cereal. Let your knee come on back down to the ground. Tuck both toes under and walk your hands back. Come on into a kneeling stand. If you've got a blanket or some padding at home that you want to stick underneath your knees for a little bit of extra cushioning, you can also double your mat over and get some extra padding that way. Very similar to waking up the ankles, let's wake up the hands, the wrists. So put your hands out in front of you and give a little bit of effort into pressing like you're trying to stop the wall from closing in on you. Fan out wide through each of your fingers. Breathe in and imagine you could draw your fingernails back towards your forearms. An active stretch for your wrists. On your breath out, curl your fingers in tight into fists. Let your knuckles drop down towards the ground. Keep squeezing into a tight fist. Inhale, fan out, spread your fingers wide. Exhale, curl in and drop your knuckles towards the earth. Inhale, fan it out wide. Draw your fingernails back. Exhale, curl it in. Let's go for 2 more of those. Breathe in. And out. In your fingers. I'm bad at counting. I don't know if this is 2 or 3. I already lost it. Curl it in and drop it down 1 more time. And give it a little shake out. Put your hands back down on the ground and locate your block or whatever it is that you're using to approximate a block. Right leg comes out to the side. So you're kneel standing on your left knee, right leg extended out. My toes are pointing forward. You might find for your own body that you want your toes popped up or pointing out to the side, anywhere around here that works for your knee and your ankle to feel like it's stable. Take your block into your right hand. Reach it up to the sky. Inhale. And as you exhale, hinge over to the right. Let your block come down somewhere behind your leg and your left arm to reach up and overhead. You can look up and under that left arm towards the ceiling if your neck allows, but again, it's an add-on. It's not necessary. You could keep looking forward towards your screen or you could look down to the floor. You might even try all 3 of those ranges and see where it feels best in your body. Inhale, come on up through center. Grab the block with your left hand. Exhale, take it to the floor and reach up and over to the other side. Breathe in and come on up. Exhale, right hand takes the block and reach with your left. Breathe in and reach to the sky. Let your left hand come down, right arm reaches. This is called Parigasana or gate pose. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, reach. 1 more time, up and over, and take it to the left side. Reach back up through center, breathe in. Let your hands come down to your heart, hold on to your block. Let your elbows fan out to the side. Put a little bit of pressure onto the block so the shoulders are waking up, the forearms feel active. Can you step your right knee in underneath you without the use of your hands? Of course, please use your hands. Put your block down if that makes more sense, but try it on. I'm a big fan of playing around with balance so that it's there when we really need it. And then step your left foot out to the side. Same deal. You might need to have your foot facing a different way on this side. So feel into that. Figure out what makes sense. Take your block into your left hand when you're ready. Up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale. Over to the floor somewhere behind your left leg. And right arm up, over, and out. Pause there. Take a breath. And feel the expansiveness, the stretch all the way down. I'm noticing mine all the way from the outer edge of my knee, my IT band, my rib cage, up and out through my pinky finger. Let's begin to add some movement onto this. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, right hand takes it to the floor, left arm reaches. Breathe in. I'll remind you, you can move at your own pace. Breathe out. It's fine if I'm on my left and you're on your right. We've already learned and established that I can't count well, so the numbers that you get to much more irrelevant than the sensations that you're feeling and the experience that you're having. Come on up through center. And this time, pause at center. Let your palms take both edges of the block. Bring it back to your heart, fan your elbows out, and put a little bit of pressure on the block. Lift your heart up tall, lengthen through your spine, and see if you can step your left foot back in and underneath you without the use of your hands. Tuck your toes under, set your block off to the side. Pick your knees up off of the ground. At any point in time, whenever we're balancing, you can put a toe back down or you can put a hand back down if we're low to the floor like this. And this is just practice with balance. And the thing about balance is you never quite have it. And as soon as you think you do, gravity is there to remind you you don't. So give it a shot and see if you can come all the way up to stand on your tiptoes. Some mornings I have it, some mornings I don't have it. Rise all the way up. Worst case is that your heels touch the floor. If your heels drop down, give it a try. Come on back up onto your tiptoes now that you're standing tall. And let's see if we can take a 3 count to come all the way down to the floor. 3, 2, 1. Let your arms come down by your sides. And go back up again for a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Down we go. 3, 2, 1. Try it again. 1, 2, 3, and 3, 2, 1. Soft gaze down the bridge of your nose, your eyes closed, landing both feet. Feel a little lift of the inner lines of your legs, a lengthen of your spine, a drop down at an angle of your tail behind you. Again, that silk cord lengthening the crown of your head up and out towards the sky. Draw your shoulders up by your ears, let them roll down and fall by your sides naturally. And feel what it's like to stand in your mountain this morning, to stand in your power, in your strength, in your stability. Reconnect to your prayer, to your intention that you set this morning. And commit to taking that intention with you as we begin to move a little bit more. So find your block. This guy's going to keep making an appearance in and out of the class. Set it up on its tall height. If you've got a book, stand it up on its end, or whatever it is that you're going to use to approximate the block. Some of you I have let know yesterday on Facebook, we're going to be standing on it. That's not what this is just yet, so don't worry about that. But on its tallest height, right in front of your right foot. So here I am turning sideways. I've got it right in front of my right toes. Let your hands come onto your hips. Feel that sensation of Tadasana in your body again, that tall, long, lean and even sensation. Shift your weight over into your left foot, come up onto your right toes. As you breathe in, pick your knee up and step up and over the block, tap your toes down in front of you. Inhale, pick your knee up, and exhale, tap it back behind. That's the movement, as simple as that. Inhale, or as complex as that, as the case may be. I happen to be right near a wall. If you've got a wall in your house that you want to scooch over to, you can always put your fingertips onto the wall to help you play with balance, and you can take them on and off at your own discretion and challenge yourself appropriately. I'm going to turn to face forward again. Keep that movement going. Let's add a little bit of breath. I tend to move my hands with my feet as I go. You can let that happen as well. The inhale comes with a knee pickup. Exhale back. Breathe in and out. Inhale and exhale. And notice if you've got it or if you're wobbling. Can you have a little bit of levity and lightheartedness to your wobbles? I always like to remind people that when we were kids, wobbling was funny, being dizzy was funny. We tried to do those things and tried to make our friends do those things. So you can sort of invoke your inner child and remember what it was like to be imperfect and just have fun. It might be a little bit more useful to your mental state this morning. Last time. And when you come back to stand in mountain, resist the urge to move right away. Notice the sensations and how they sort of peak like a wave cresting, and then they fall off a little bit. Like they hit their high point of where the sensation is strongest, and then it peters away. Then if there's anything that you want to give a little shake out to, you can go ahead and feel free. And scoot your block over to be in front of your left foot. Find your mount again. Stand tall and try to stay tall and long as you shift your weight into the right side. Pick your left knee up and begin. Okay? It's a different leg, so you might be having a different experience on this side. Go slow, take your time. When you're ready, start to sync it up with your breath. You can add the arms into the movement whenever you want to, or not. That's the best part about this. I can't see what you're doing, only you know what you're practicing. So how is this movement going to work for you today? I'm here to offer you some inquiries. I'm here to offer you some challenges and some edges to come up against. You get to decide how many of those you do and how you react to what's happening. Breath in and out. In and out. In and out. Couple more. So I mentioned the synovial fluid earlier. One of the biggest joints we've got right here, the hip flexors. Getting them warm. Last time forward, last time back. And when you stand and mount and try to be still for just a beat. And notice what's going on in your body. And then if there's anything that you need to shake it off. So my yogis who practice with me here at the studio all the time know that what I preach about that one is that's the difference between flipping the person off in traffic because they cut you off and taking a breath before you choose to do that and think about perhaps they're off to meet somebody at the hospital who's not having a really good day, or maybe they just got laid off from their job, right? To put yourself in somebody else's shoes, to pause and be considerate before you react. So you can choose the right action for the moment. It's the practice of that. Sitting with perhaps discomfort, uncomfortable sensations in the body gets us ready to be able to deal with discomfort that happens out there, in work, in home, in relationships, and all of that. If you're not up at the top end of your mat, walk yourself all the way up to the front end of your mat, block with you. Keep it on its tall height. Oh, actually, no, drop it down to its low height. This would be the point if you're not going to stand on a block or a book, but you've got a stair in your house that you want to make your way over to your staircase and just have your phone or your laptop angled so that you can see and hear what we're doing. Right foot comes to stand on the block. So you can see here my toes are longer than the block. I'm going to let my toes hang off and make sure my heel is on. Right. Come up to stand. Make sure that you like the placement of your foot and it feels like you're steady standing on your block. Make any adjustments you need. The floor is always right there to catch you. You can put a toe down at any time. And you can also continue to be right by a wall, or if you've got your staircase, you can hold onto the railings on the staircase. Find an invisible block or book that you're going to stand on underneath your left leg. Allow your right knee to bend as though you're lowering your left foot back down to the ground and then pick it back up. Small little movement, a lower down and a pick up. And you can either actually tap the floor as you're doing that, or you can challenge yourself to hover. I am going to count these out. We're going to go for 3 more, so a total of 6. Last 2, and last 1. Come on back up, step both feet to the ground, take that pause before you shake out, and then switch the block over to your left. Make sure you like the placement of your foot. Come up to stand on it when you're ready, and find an invisible block or book beneath your right foot. Slow and steady, knee tracks forward as it bends, lower and maybe tap or hover. Come on back up. 5, and 4. Last 3. Notice any of those little wobbles or shimmies that happen in your knee as the muscles are reacting to try to keep you balanced and steady. After your last one, Step down to mountain pose. Stand tall, try to be still. Take a breath. If you need a shakeout, take a shakeout. Come on back over to stand on the block with your right foot. These movements are going to get progressively more and more challenging, and you're the driver of the bus here, so you get to decide to what level you want to work. Stand on the invisible block underneath your left foot, and let your leg swing forward in front of you and back behind you. Try to draw it in a straight line, and it doesn't have to be super big, but if you want to pick it up really high, go for it. It doesn't have to go back behind you very far. I noticed this morning I was doing this facing a mirror, and I noticed that when my leg goes back, it also kicks out to the side. So I was playing around with trying to keep it really straight in line. So what you want to do to sort of make this your own individualized play around and practice here. Notice if your breathing has started to become erratic, or if you weren't even paying attention to the fact that you were breathing anymore. See if you can sync it to your movement as you go forward one more time and back one more time. Come back through center. Are you still standing on invisible block, or has your leg started to drop and your hip hang out? Step down to the floor. Notice what's there before you shake it off. Shake it off if you want to shake it off. Stand on the block with your left foot. So in the yogi world, this is stability and mobility drills. It's probably also in the fitness world. I don't know, my scope is limited to yoga. But one leg stabilizing you while the other leg mobilizes. So whenever you're ready, right leg goes forward and back to whatever degree seems reasonable. Notice if your brow has furrowed. Notice if your jaw is clenched. Even here, even if you might fall off your block, can you be a little lighthearted and playful about what you're doing? Can you be in inquiry? Can you be curious about how your body moves? Isn't that interesting? It's one of my favorite things to say. Isn't that interesting? How my hip shifts and my leg swings back at an angle. It doesn't go straight back. I wonder what that's about. So cool. A breath in could take your leg forward. A breath out could take it back. Last time, swinging back when you get there. Notice if you're still on invisible block when you come back to center. Step down, take your pause in stillness. Any shakeout you want to shake, go for it. Last one, utilizing the block or your stairs. Right foot comes back to the block last time. Invisible block under your left leg. And then this is going to be abduction and adduction, the act of taking away from the center line and bringing back in. And again, you could move out 6 inches, you could move out 25 inches, you could move out straight on out to the side wall. Depends on your body and how familiar this action is to you. Continue to stand tall in mountain through the right-hand side. Utilize your handrail or your wall if you're near that. So the practice of being stable in the hips and mobile in the hips. Doing it now, so when we need it, we've got it. And in New England, although we had a really mild winter this year, we oftentimes have uneven sidewalks that have chunks of ice that haven't been cleared. We have black ice in parking lots. Working to get the hips strong and stable now so that when we do encounter those situations, we're better able to catch ourselves. Come on back through center. Step down to the floor. Try to be still for a beat. Take your breath. Shake anything off that needs it. Very last one. Invisible block under your right foot when you're ready. And take your time. There isn't a rush. Make sure you like the way that you're on your block. When you're ready to begin abducting and taking away, and adducting, drawing back in, go for it. Take it out, and in. And notice the quality of your gaze, not just where you're looking. It's fine to be looking at the floor. Are you looking at it like you're shooting daggers out of your eyeballs, or are you looking at it like it's a dear friend who you haven't seen in a good long while? Okay. Attitude helps. We all encounter hard stuff, challenging stuff, and new stuff. And this is a really simple, playful practice of moving your body in inquiry to help you polish the mirror of who it is that you see when you turn inward. Who am I in tough situations? One more time. And step on down, try to be still. Let's give everything a really good shake out. A really good shake out. Shake off anything that doesn't need to come with you into the next part of class. Shake your legs. Pick things up off the floor. All right. And come on back to center. Standing at the top of your mat. Come on back over if you were at your staircase. Block will now be up on its tall end again at the front end of your mat. Start facing this way. Stand tall right behind your block. I've got about 6 to 8 inches. You'll move your block as feels appropriate for you once we start to move. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Exhale, hinge at your hips and bow forward towards the earth. Let your knees bend as much as you'd like. Hands come onto your block in front of you. If you have 2 blocks, you can use them here. I just wanted to keep the props really simple for folks who don't have a full stockpile at home of yoga supplies. Inhale, lift yourself up halfway. Bow forward again, exhale. Gonna come up halfway once more and take your right leg back behind you any amount. Lengthen it out. Hold on to your block. Exhale, float it to the floor and fold forward over your legs. And repeat that again. Inhale, right leg back. Lift your torso halfway. Exhale, set your foot down and fold. Inhale, lift up halfway, right leg back. This time, bend your left knee and let your right toes journey down to the floor. Shift yourself back till your left knee is above your ankle. Walk your hands up onto your front thigh and look forward. You can keep your hands right here to support you to come the rest of the way up by walking your hands in, or you can let them fly up as you lift through your belly and reach towards the sky. Crescent lunge, or Kripalu lineage, folks will know this as Virabhadrasana Eka, Warrior 1. Inhale here. Exhale, bend your back knee like you're getting ready to lower it to the floor. And then come on back up again. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, bend. Let your hands come on down to your hips. Utilize your hands at any point you need to. You could come forward and use your block again, or try to come all the way down onto your knee without the use of your hands. Once you're down, back toes untuck. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. Back toes untuck. Let your hips sink forward and your belly lift up and away from your front thigh. Arms out wide like goalposts. Breathe in here. As you breathe out, shift your hips back. Let your front leg lengthen. You can grab your block or put your fingertips on the floor and bow forward over your front leg. Any amount that works for your body. Your left toes can pop up off the earth, or you can keep them pointed down to stretch the top side of your ankle. Breathe in and lift up halfway. Let's take block or hands, whichever you're using, to the outside edge of your left foot. So you're coming into a bit of a twist, an IT band stretch. Some folks will come just to the other side of their foot and be like, wow, I feel it a lot. And other people will have way more range, and they'll find themselves walking sideways, starting to look towards the back end. So you'll get off the bus at your stop and continue to breathe right there. Let your toes fan out. Maybe do a little bit of a point and a flex just to get some more action in the ankles. Walk yourself back to face forward. Rebend your front knee, utilizing your blocks or not. Tuck your back toes so hands can press down, or you can come up without them. Pick your knee up, sweep your arms to the sky, and step forward to mountain. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, hinge at your hips and bow forward towards your block. Come up halfway, inhale. And exhale, fold. This time, your left leg is going to float back behind you. Come up halfway, left leg back. Exhale, foot comes down, fold forward. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up and lengthen your leg. As you exhale, bend your knee and slowly put your toes down. How slow can you go? Some more hip stability work. Utilize your hands on your thighs to lift and lengthen your heart up and your spine long, and sweep your arms upwards towards the sky. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, bend your left knee. Give it a little pulse towards the floor. Inhale, lengthen it back out. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend, and make your way to the floor. Utilize your upper body to help support you in any way to come on down. Once you've got it down, untuck your toes. Let your hips sink forward a little bit, and your belly and your heart lift up. Fan your arms out big and wide like a goalpost, heart forward. I always think of this as getting ready to receive the biggest and best hug from your favorite person. And right now, where that might not be possible, let yourself drop in for a moment here and visualize there they are coming in to give you a great big hug. Take another breath. And lift yourself up. Let your hips start to shift back. Set your hands forward onto your block or onto the floor. Let your toes pick up as your right leg lengthens. And you can play around with a point, a flex, a wiggle, anything you like, including bowing forward a little more over your right leg to stretch out the back side of your leg, your hamstrings there. Lift yourself out of your fold and walk either with your block or with your hands up and over to the right hand side. Keep exploring with every cycle of breath. If there's room to move a little bit deeper, if you've hit your edge and you want to pause, what does each wave of breath invite in? Notice your heart rate. Again, is there seriousness to your face, or is there delight? Walk your way back through to face forward. Bend your front knee. You can utilize your block or challenge yourself to come up without the use of your hands. Back knee picks up off the floor, arms to the sky. Step yourself forward to mountain pose, Tadasana, right at the top end of your knee. Inhale, scoop your arms up and overhead. Grab onto your right wrist and arc yourself over to the left. Inhale, come up through center. Grab your left wrist and arc it over to the right. Come on up through center. Let your arms come on down by your sides. And then step your feet out wide. This might be a challenge for you if you're like, my mat is facing forward and I might have to put my feet off the floor, off of my mat. I would challenge you to even roll up your mat and put it away, because you can do yoga without a mat underneath you. Feet out wide. Give a little tester. Arms are out to the left and right. My ankles more or less underneath my wrists. That's about how wide to stand here. And then let your arms come down by your sides. Bend your right knee. Come into a little bit of a side lunge. Inhale, sweep your arms over to the right. Exhale, circle them up and over, and bend your left knee. Come down to the left. Inhale, up and over to the right. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Inhale and exhale. Pause right here. Instead of coming up and out of it this time, try to stay level and sweep through center. Over to the right. Let your breath carry you back and forth. Right side and left side. Right side And left side, we started on the left, so we'll end on the right this time. Come on over. Come back through center, straighten both legs, let your hands come onto your hips. Circle your hips around. Remember that visual from earlier, the rubber spatula in the brownie bowl. Scrape the edges of your bowl. Go the other way. Come back through center. Heel toe your feet in about 1 foot's distance. That's not the 12-inch 1 foot, it's about the width of your foot. So just a little bit closer in. Let your right knee bend. Sweep your arms to the right. So this is the shape we were just in. Layering on, look over your left shoulder, look down at your left foot. Hey fella, you're coming with me. Where are we going? We're going this way. Don't be worried about how high you lift, just lift up. Let it drag across the floor, pick it up a little, pick it up a lot. The standing leg can bend or be straight. And as gently as you can, set it down. More stability and mobility. Glide it all the way over to the left-hand side. Same thing. Right foot, your turn. Come on, we're doing this. Pick it up, float it out, and let it touch down nice and easy. Move at your pace. Go back and forth. Some of them are going to be fantastic. You're going to be like, that's awesome, I did so good. And then you're going to wobble on the next one and topple. That's how it goes. That's life. That's yoga. Go with it. Let all of it be amazing. Let all of it be of interest. Let all of it keep you curious and playful. One more time to each side. Come on back to center. Bend your knees. Let your toes start to dial out. Left to the left, right to the right. And rest your hands onto your thighs. I like my thumbs forward and my fingers back, but you could do whatever way works for you. And allow your shoulders to scrunch up by your ears. So I always call this the football coach and the supermodel. In this instance, I'm going to say, this is me lecturing you, Tom Brady, for leaving the New England Patriots. How dare you end that way? All right. And then the supermodel, left shoulder. Giselle, how could you let him leave us? Inhale, come on back through center. Your kids were raised in New England, right shoulder. Inhale, come on up through center. No angry comments about people who like the Bills or any other teams out there. Inhale, come on back up through center. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Back through center one more time. And exhale. Come on back up. Release your hands from your legs. Let yourself sit low for a moment. Bend your elbows. Feel all of those amazing sensations going on in your legs. Right? Relabel them. Amazing. Amazing. I can feel amazing things happening here. Breath in. And breath out, let your legs lengthen. Try to be still. Let those sensations land with presence in your body. Feet now. Take your right toes and turn them to face the short edge of your mat. Left foot. Pick up your heel. Kick it back behind you, away from you, at about a 45-degree angle. Then away. That's a little for our Pranatana Yogi teachers in training. Okay? Bend your right knee and let it track above your ankle. And float your arms out to the horizon line. Virabhadrasana, doing warrior 2. Keep your front knee bent. Keep yourself sinking down through the bottom half of your body, rooting into the earth, and then rising up through pelvic floor, through belly, through spine, upper half of your body. Inhale, windmill your arms back. Front knee stays bent. Exhale, take it forward. Let your arms just sweep and windmill. Inhale, take it up and back. Exhale, windmill it forward. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Come back to the horizon line with your arms. Breathe in. As you breathe out, straighten your front leg. Let your hands come down to your hips. And then fancy feet your toes. So that basically means we're going to spin and spin just to get to the other side. Make sure that your back heel is kicked up and away. And let your left knee bend to track above your ankle or just slightly behind it. Float your arms out to the horizon line. And see if you can feel in your body that the bottom half is anchored down. You're rooted into both feet evenly. The abductors and abductors and adductor muscles strong and firing, and then tall and long through center. Keep the length in your spine as you begin to dance your warrior back and forth. Take it into reverse with a breath in. Windmill your arms forward. Breathe it out. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Make your way back to the horizon line. Straighten your front leg. Bring your hands onto your hips. Turn your toes to face forward again. Heel toe your feet in underneath you. And step to face the front edge of your mat. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hinge at your hips and bow forward towards the floor. Breathe it out. Inhale, come up halfway. Rest your hands on your thighs and lengthen. Exhale, fold, bend your knees enough to set your hands down on the ground and step back to high plank. Lengthen from the crown of your head. Press through your heels. Push the floor away from you. Let your chin drop in towards your chest on purpose, and then draw your head back in line with the rest of your spine. Keep all of the spinal muscles and low belly muscles engaged here to support your core to stay strong. Continue to breathe. At any point in time, you can put your knees down. You can also put your forearms down and lower into plank. So this is a little gift for all my Sunday yogis that I haven't gotten to see. Every Sunday morning in class, we plank, and we plank till we're done planking. So we're gonna go for maybe about, I don't know, another 5 or 6 breaths. If you've got time to plank longer at home, you can. And if you want to tap out before I'm lowering everybody to the ground, you can simply tap out and lay on your belly. Breathe in and out. Notice the ferocity of your gaze at your mat. See if you can again embrace that a kind friend is in front of you and you're so excited to see them. Last breath. Come all the way down to the floor. Let your hands stack underneath your forehead, bend your knees, and sway your feet side to side. I'm going to keep my head up so that you can still hear me clearly. And let your legs lower. And just like a pancake, flip yourself over onto your back. Once you're lying down, bend your knees, feet to the floor, and step them back so that they feel like they're underneath your knees, a little closer to your bottom. Let your hands be by your sides. Inhale, arch your lower back away from the floor. So you'll notice I'm still bottom on the floor, just arching. I can slide my hands under here. Exhale, flatten your back to the floor. It's like your tail is tucking underneath you like a sad puppy. Inhale, arch your back. Exhale, flatten and tuck your tail. Inhale, arch. And exhale, tuck. Inhale, arch, and press your feet down. Lift your hips up. Let your arms float overhead towards the floor behind you. Exhale, slowly lower everything back down to the earth. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, lower. And this next time that you roll up, you can roll up, sustaining the lift up by letting your arms come down and your shoulders step in underneath you. Lace your hands together. You can grab your block or your cushion, your pillow, your blanket, and support your hips with that. Let your chin stay lifted towards the ceiling so it feels like your airway is free and clear. And if you want to lift anything, lift your heart towards your chin as opposed to dropping your chin to the chest, and that'll help to keep it so that you can take a full deep breath. Play around with pressing more into your feet and lifting your hips higher. Play around with sinking a little bit and letting your glutes relax. Squeeze your buns as tight as you can. Lift up a little higher. Soften off of that movement a little bit and relax. Shimmy side to side. You don't have to be stagnant and still. We are fluid beings, so allow your practice to always contain space for movement, inquiry that makes sense for your body. Another breath. And gently set your spine back down one vertebrae at a time, like you're setting your mala beads back down onto your nightstand. Draw your knees into your belly. Give yourself a squeeze. Keep your right knee drawn in. Lace your hands around it. Lengthen your left leg out long. Heel down or toes up and hovering, up to you. Reach through your long leg toes. And switch. Hug your left knee in. Lengthen through your right. Hug your right knee in. Lengthen your left leg out long. And then bend your left knee, put your foot on the floor, extend your right leg up towards the ceiling, and let your hands clasp around the back of your calf, your knee, your thigh, whatever you can hold on to. Roll your ankle a few times. Bend your right knee and cross it over, ankle over your left. So figure 4 shape. You can put your hand on your thigh, nudge it away from you, and stay right there and get plenty of sensation. If you don't need to go any further than that, then don't. Fantastic. You got there quicker than other folks who might need another step here. So another step would be to pick your left foot up and either hover. I like to hang out without the use of my hands, but you could lace your hand around your thigh or around your knee. You could even put a block under your heel and hang out like that. Like I said, I like to just hover. Take a couple of breaths. Try flexing through both feet, spreading out through your toes. And uncross your ankle, hug your left knee into you, and lengthen your right leg out long. Put your right foot on the floor with a bent knee. Cross your left ankle over your knee. Nudge your thigh away with your hand and assess the situation going on in your hips. If this is enough, you're going to hang right here. If you want to add another layer, you have the freedom to pick your foot up and to lace your hands or hang out in any way that serves your body. Foot come back down to the ground, uncross, step your feet out wide to the edges of your mat, let your knees windshield wiper side to side. And then allow them to knock in towards one another in this constructive rest shape. So the inner knees are tented in, arms out wide at your sides, and then crisscross either arm over top. Give yourself a hug. Let your arm straight. Feel your breath smoothing out as you settle into the floor. Feel your shoulder blades connected beneath you. Sacrum resting on the earth and the soles of your feet connected. Fan your arms out wide. Take a breath. And crisscross your second arm on top now. Hang right here and take Shavasana just like this, or you can unwrap your arms and lengthen your legs out. If you are chilly, put socks on, put a blanket over you. Make sure that you're comfortable and warm. The longer that you're still, your body temp will start to regulate and drop, and any of the heat that you built during class will begin to taper off. I'm going to sit upright and just continue to offer you some words of connection so that you know that I'm here guiding you, but you don't have to listen to the words that I'm speaking. Just know that I'm here, and I'll guide you when it's time to get up again. If you have longer to spend in Shavasana than this class lasts, please do. Please give yourself a good long rest before you go about the rest of your day. Let your shoulder blades settle in. Let your hips and your heels feel the connection of the floor beneath you. Let your breath return to its natural rhythm. allowing it to wash over you, like waves gently lapping onto the shore. And every muscle and every bone in your body, like the seashells that settle into the soft sand as the water recedes. Allow yourself to drift into a place of watching and witnessing. Everything's just as it is in this moment, and that's perfect. In this space that you have created for yourself, there is nothing that needs to be any different. This here and this now, this moment for you is just as it should be. Gentlest of whispers, allow your breath to become a little bit more present in your space. With that deepened present breath, notice once more the rise and fall of your belly, your ribs, and your chest as you inhale and exhale. You're connecting yourself to this vessel that you live in, that you reside in, this go round on this planet. Feel your fingers and your toes begin to wiggle and move. Notice any resistance to moving just yet. Allow yourself to be wherever you're at. Move slower or say, not yet, I'm going to stay here and breathe a while longer. If you're continuing to reawaken, start to stretch your arms and your legs. Let your elbows and your knees bend. Curl into a ball and roll yourself over onto your side. The luxury of a pause there. Make a decision. If there is anything that you do not need to pick back up off of the floor when you sit up, leave it there. I'll clean it up for you. I'll swiffer it away when I clean the floor. Press your hands down into the earth. Lift yourself up, slowly stacking your spine. Head comes up last. This vibrant and refreshed being that you are, having shed off things that are not going to serve you on this rainy Thursday morning. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Bring the corners of your mouth up into a smile in honor and recognition of this guru, this wise teacher that lives right here at Heart Center. And when we take the time to do the practices of yoga, to connect body, breath, and mind, this remembering that spirit comes online and wisdom is there for the taking. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me this morning. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste, yogis. Thanks for watching.
If you want to say hi, Jeannie's here, Milan's here, Pam's here, Sheila's here, Claire's here, Leslie's here, Jody's watching.
Hi, Jody.
Oriella, she says, we've not met yet, but I want to say hi and thank you for a great class. Stay healthy.
Welcome.
And Kimberly, did I say Kimberly? Yep, Kimberly Cole's here.
Hi, Kimberly.
And Rachel Marinelli's here. She goes, thank you.
Thanks, Gary.
Who else is here? I'll give it a second. Lori Billiard here. Katie Murphy.
Hi, Katie.
Sarah Begin. She goes, namaste, thank you.
Hi, Sarah.
This is awesome.
This is fun.
This is fun.
We love
Kathy
doing
Abrams,
this.
she says
Hi,
thank
Kathy.
you. Jamie Vada says thank you.
Morning, Jamie.
Kathy Morrow says thank you.
Oh my God.
Megan Crawford. She goes, hi, sis.
Oh, I'm like, who's Megan Crawford? Oh my God, Megan, that's my sister, everybody. Hi, Megan.
Dina, Carrie, Nicole Thomas. The cats and I thank you. Lori, send a photo of your cats to us. Carrie, Tara, Devani. Wait, what's wrong?
What?
I don't know.
Hi, Tara. Did Leo practice?
Megan, Eleanor.
Hi, Eleanor.
It's other Tara. We send love, love, love.
Oh, thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Sheila Jacobs. All
Hi,
is well.
Sheila.
Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
Hi, guys. Tracy.
Tracy!
Carrie, Joe. Hi, Tara. Thank you. She goes, your sister goes, you forgot me. And Anne-Marie Fisher,
We
thank you
decided
so much.
This is the shortest commute ever because she lives in New Hampshire and I'm here in Rhode Island, obviously. And the only time that we ever get to practice together is when she travels down or I travel up. So this was the shortest commute ever for a yoga class that we've had together
Aw.
in our time together.
Allison Donnelly says, thank you from Chicago.
Oh,
Wow.
You're welcome, Allison.
And Deb G says, hi, Tara's.
Oh,
Deb G is here.
He's represented.
And,
Yes.
then Stephanie LaPlante is here.
Good to see you yesterday.
All right. We're going to tune out. All right.
Bye.